Hey guys, so, oh my god, I done a TikTok video last night. This picture was kinda, I guess the star, you could say. Everybody was amazing. Comments was sweet, but a lot of people asked if I would do a story time, what happened about the recovery, more details. Now, most of y'all have seen my story that's on this channel already. We're gonna do my story time over, go a little more into detail, show y'all some before and after pictures. Obviously, y'all know what my life is like now. It's amazing. I'm happily married, got little turkey butt in there. A lot of people are interested in what happened. Let's go ahead and get into all that. Let's start with this picture right here. Hopefully you guys can see that. I don't know, but this was 2 months before my accident. This one was exactly a month before my accident. That's me and my sister at Dollywood. This one was the same day. You can actually see my face probably a little better in that picture. This was before my accident. Like I said, 2 months, a month. Most recent pictures I had before my accident. I got into a car accident when I was 17. It broke every single bone in my face. When I say every bone, I mean every bone. To my forehead, my nose, my eye sockets, my top jaw, my bottom jaw. Every bone was broken. Now, my nose was completely shattered. That bone, they said it looked like somebody took the 2-pack of the crackers, you know, you get at a restaurant or something, and they had crushed it in their hand and opened their hand back up. They said that's what my nose bone looked like. How they knew that is they had to fly me out to UK. They cut me from ear to ear up here, and this might be disturbing for some of y'all. They had to peel my face down to see what was really underneath. When they got to my nose, I remember specifically the doctor saying that they had to take, you know when you have your teeth worked on and they have to take that little slobber, it sucks slobber up out of your mouth. That's what they had to do to get all the tiny little crushed bone fragments out of my nose. That was only the beginning of 7 years of 32 surgeries. That's the big, the small, the inpatient, the outpatient. It was around that many. That was just the beginning, okay? This picture right here was only the beginning. Now, if you really look at this picture, I'm gonna show you something. My eye sockets, that's measuring just with the picture. Look how much bigger. My head for a year was the size of a basketball, if not bigger. I was so swollen. My face was like 3 times the size that it should have been. You can see all this, probably road burn, glass. You know, I picked glass out of my scalp for a long time. So you can tell right there that my nose was totally gone. The bone was just crushed. You can see here, forehead bone got caved in. You can't really tell much, but you can see the damage. That was the beginning of a long road. And am I saying it was easy? It absolutely was not easy. You know, there was times I was way down here mentally, emotionally, physically. And then there were times that I was up here. I would have 6 good months. Here's the thing. Because my face was so flat, I mean, you know, your nose is kind of your structure. They wanted to take implants, Medipore, mesh, and put them in there to bring my skin of my nose back up so I could breathe. They tried 2 or 3 different implants over a few years period. Every single one of them got infected and went septic in my system. It was a horrible nightmare. I wished I would have known then, because I would have been like, no, do a bone graft, put bone back in my nose. But you know, I guess they were just trying to do what they could at the time as fast as possible to make it to where I could breathe, I could eat, you know. Another thing, my mouth was wired shut multiple times for a long time. I was on a liquid diet. I was so bony and malnourished and so weak. I'll never forget something that always rings a bell with me. It was a few months after I was home, but my mouth was still wired shut, and I had this tiny little hole that I could suck through a straw with. I was in the bathroom, I took a bath and got out, and I was so weak. You know, my hair was my jam back in the day. Like, I couldn't have a hair out of place. But I'll never forget standing in the bathroom upstairs, and I was shaking, trying to hold that hair dryer up and dry my hair and the straightener, and I had to sit down on the floor and catch my breath because I was so weak, because my mouth had been wired shut for months. Plus I lost a ton of blood during that accident. I'll never forget that, how weak and frail and fragile I was. I was always determined to get back to some sort of normal life. I hate that word, but you know, it is what it is. It's a word. Even though I was sitting there shaking and probably shouldn't have been up doing it, I was determined. I had staples in my head, ear to ear. You know, my face was out to here, could barely see out of my eyeballs, but I was still determined to get myself in the bathtub, wash my own hair, dry my own hair, shave my own legs. Didn't want nobody doing it for me. So my parents decided we were going to move to Florida, go to Shands in Jacksonville. Any of y'all from Jacksonville or that area from Florida, you probably know about Shands Hospital in Jacksonville. Dr. Fatahi actually done all my surgeries there, and he done amazing. He tried one implant in my nose. He said, I just want to give it a try. He said, I've had good success with this stuff, because he done all facial reconstruction. I remember sitting in his office one day, the first day I was there. I'd never seen anything like it before. You know, I always felt like I was the only one that looked that way. People kept walking in, total facial deformities just like me. That was a good feeling. And even over the years that he done my surgeries, we would all kind of watch the progress of each other, how our faces would change, and it was cool. But anyhow, he tried that implant. It did not work. Went septic again. My body was just rejecting it. That's why, you know, boob implants probably ain't never going to work for me, because my body totally rejects anything foreign that shouldn't be under there out. So he said, I tell you what we're going to do. He said, how would you feel about doing a bone graft? He said, we're going to take a piece of your skull and we'll put it, you know, your nose. I don't know if y'all noticed, but in the video, there's a screw here holding this bone and this bone in place. At that point, I was just like, let's do anything. Let's try anything. You know, it was hard to breathe. My nose was always bleeding. It was infected from the implant, so I was miserable. We went up, they go in, they take the bone out. I had multiple. They took bone from this side once, bone from here. I got a huge dent on this side where they removed that bone, and then they took some from this side. Bone grafts. Multiple implants not working, fell on my body, rejected them, multiple infections from that. At this point, I was probably halfway through my surgeries when he decided to do the bone graft. Within 2 weeks, I felt like a new person. My nose had not been able to heal in years, because as soon as they put an implant in, they would give it 8 weeks. And by that time, my body was already getting infected because my face was trying to push that out. So for years, I literally felt horrible. I felt like I was dying. I mean, you imagine infection in your face, in your body. You're always running a fever. You always feel weak. You always feel drained. But in a couple of weeks after that, I started to feel better, and I was like, thank you, Jesus. We found a solution here. My body obviously is going to take my own bone. Finally a solution, and that's where things kind of started to get better. And surgery started going smoother, and the healing process physically started, which really jump-started the mental healing process. Fast forward all them years later, finally finished up my surgeries. They actually wanted me to come and do a few more, you know, wanted to tweak my eyes a little bit to make them a little more even, wanted to bring the bridge of my nose up a little more, and I was like, sorry guys. You know, I was like, I'm tired. At this point, I was like 25. Now imagine surgeries from 17 to 25 constantly. Luckily, I was working at Staples at the time. I had an amazing boss, and he would let me off for as long as I needed to be off, and I could come back, and if I had to go back for another one in 4 weeks, he would let me back off again. But it got to the point, even like trying to work and hold a job down, it was hard because the surgery, the recovery, that's no joke. But you know, I have an amazing family. My dad and my mom slept in hospital floors. She never left my side. I mean, she slept in chairs all night. There were times when we didn't have insurance that we would have to go through the emergency room, even though the hospital was comping so much of this, because I allowed my videos, the surgeons, to film my surgeries and use my videos for to teach. We still had to go through the ER, do it that way, and fill out papers after the surgeries to get the rest of it took care of. We would sit in emergency rooms 16 hours sometimes before they would even take us back. But my mom was a trooper. I mean, she was, and my dad. They babied me, yeah, but you know, they were always like, go get a job. Go to college. We'll help you. You know, do something. Don't just lay here and die and give up. They pushed me. I'm thankful for that. You know, I was probably a little brat then, and oh, pity me, oh, pity poo. Well, you know, I'm thankful. Thank you, Mom. and Dad, if you guys ever watch this, the people that raised me is a portion of why I survived and I have the attitude I do today. You know, the rest of it's the Lord and my husband, my child. Got done with surgeries in Florida. You know, I was homesick by then, ready to come back to Kentucky. So I did. A lot of people have asked, how did you and Sean meet? Was it before the accident, after the accident? Well, me and Sean grew up in the same town, went to the same high school. Our parents knew each other. Our grandmas were friends. Me and Sean really met after my accident when my face was all fudged up. Way worse than this. We met about 3 months before I moved to Florida. You know, we were hanging out, staying all night with each other. Yes, we were both over 18 at the time. I had to go to Florida. You know, I had to get these surgeries done, and I had to be at a place that really could do it and knew what they were doing. So I just left. After 3 months of us seeing each other, I didn't even say bye. I was so sick then. I had an implant in my face, really infected. I didn't even say bye. Me and my parents was just like, we're gone. It was hard. During that time period, I'd come home to visit, you know, because my sister and the kids were still here. We come up, and a few times that I came up over that 7 years, me and Sean would see each other. Actually, one day when I came in, it'd probably been 2-3 years after I'd been living down there, I came up to visit, and my uncle called me, and he's like, there's somebody down at Mama and Papa's that wants to see you. And I was like, okay. I go down there, and it's Sean sitting on my Granny and Papa's front porch. So we talked and hung out that night, and of course I had to go back to Florida. I had a lot more stuff to do, a lot more of this to go. Fast forward again, back to moving back to Kentucky. I'd probably been home 2 months, I guess, and Sean found me on Facebook, messaged me, hey, you wanna hang out, you know, blah, blah, blah. So we did, and it's pretty much been a go-go since then. We started hanging out again, we started dating, we moved in together, got married, had turkey. There was a comment on TikTok, and it's got 329 likes right now. Somebody commented and said, did you ever think maybe God made you different so Colton wouldn't feel so different? You know, I don't know. That's a really good question. I guess only God knows the answers to that. He definitely put on me what I could handle. There was times I didn't think I could handle it. There was times I thought, I can't. I don't want to go out in public. I don't want to live anymore. I thought about it, but it never went no further than that. Now, today, I'm thankful for that car accident. If I could go back and change anything in my past, it would not be that car accident. There's a few other things, mistakes I made that I would change way before that car accident. That car accident made me who I am today. I thought I was out of my shell before that car accident. No, it wasn't. Because before the car accident, I was cheerleader, gymnastics, cared what everybody thought, couldn't have a hair out of place. You know what? I was miserable. I'm happy now, because you know what? I don't care what my hair looks like. If you don't like it, don't look at it. It just made me a free spirit, because God put me in a situation where I had to walk outside in front of the world naked. And when I'm saying naked, I mean with this. There was no makeup that was going to cover it. By my surprise, and that's sad to say, because, you know, there's a lot of good people in this world. Everybody accepted it. I wouldn't change that part about me. It's made me who I am today, and that is something I'd never take back. My life wouldn't be what it is today. Colton wouldn't be here. Sean may not be in the picture. I may not be me, and I love me. That pretty much sums it up, guys. Long story short, that was hard, y'all. I hope this video someday down the line, I hope there's a person that comes across it, that needs to see it, that needs to see this, or, you know, needs to see this is what it was, this is what it became, and this is what it is now. When people comment to me and say, you've helped me so much you don't even understand, yes, I do. I get it. I looked for those videos when I was laying in the hospital. I needed that inspiration. I needed to see those stories of people from point A to point B, to see to life goes on, and it's good, and you make it what you want it. I hope it inspires you to not give up. And it can go to this for anybody. Am I right or am I right?
You're right.
We're right. We're
You've
right.
been eating peppermint.
He has been eating peppermint candy.
You're good.
You want to see them out, Bubba? You got anything to say to them? Huh?
They want more peppermint.
You want more peppermint? You want to tell them, say, thanks for watching my mama's video, guys. Dada, you got anything to say? It's been a long 11 years together.
It's been 11 years.
It's been 11 years.
No wonder I'm getting gray.
Let's just point out all these gray hairs. Look, there's 1, 2. Got them in your nose, too. Is he doing? Is that good? You smell good. All right, guys. We hope y'all enjoyed the video. That was my story. A little more in detail. A little more before. Ow, that's my hair. A little more before the wreck, during the surgery. Sean, that's you.
No, it ain't.
And after. But I love y'all. Hope you enjoyed. Hope this helps somebody down the line. Just don't give up. It's worth it in the end. Say peace.